So I was just a kid. I was like 17 years old. It's hard to believe he picked a bunch of us. I mean, we were all like really young. And Peter was the oldest, and he was only 21. It's pretty crazy. You know, you'd think he'd pick more experienced people with more influence, you know, but a little bit more power, but for some reason he chose us. So anyway. Alright, well, okay, so this is how it all went down. It was Passover, and everything was already prepared for us that night. We all met at the house. Judas was acting really weird. He was always a little bit creepy. But it was pretty different that night.
Is that where the night ended?
Oh, no, not even close. Because the weirdest thing happened. At the time, we couldn't really comprehend it, but he said that one of us would betray him. We're like, one of us? You know, I could believe he was going to say, you know, he would go and say such a thing, because after all these things that we had seen and done together, not possible. And we all just kind of looked at each other pretty stupid and dumbfounded. And everyone started talking at the same time, arguing with each other, you know, pretty much freaking out, like, oh no, is it going to be me? Is it going to be you? No. And I was sitting right next to Jesus again, and Peter whispered to me to ask him who it was. So I did. So Jesus told me he'd give a piece of bread to the one. So he dipped this bread in the wine, and he just went straight to Judas. Judas looked at him. It still kind of creeps me out when I think about this, but he had the strangest look in his eyes, just something so dark and menacing. And then Judas ran out as quickly as he could, you know? Quickly as he could, like he was being chased.
What happened after that?
Right, okay. So we'd finished the meal and headed out, and he wanted to go to this garden across the valley that he liked to go to, and we'd all been there dozens of times, you know. And it was pretty late. We were tired. You know, there's no way we were going to let him go by himself. Not very safe. When he got there, he just wanted to go off and pray alone while we waited for him. And he seemed really sad, but really intense at the same time. It was odd because you could just see this pain in his eyes that I'd never seen before. And at the time, I didn't really understand what he was doing, but he asked us to stand guard while he prayed. So we did. We were all really tired, and we went and hung out by this big tree. He was gone for a while. We all start nodding off. You know, we're waking up, in and out, whatever. And finally, we're all, like, done. And we wake up to voices. And through the trees, we see these torches and, like, a whole contingent of soldiers. And there had to be, like, over 100 of them. And as they get closer, I see right in front Judas. So there's just a handful of us, like 100 of them. And we all jumped to our feet, you know, we didn't know what to do. Just a bunch of kids, man. We never had to face soldiers like that. You know, you think you're tough until you start staring at all these scarred up, hard Roman soldiers in full armor. Yeah, that'll teach you something. The most incredible thing happened. Because Jesus asked them who they were looking for, and you know, they all said Jesus of Nazareth. Jesus just replies with this nice, simple, I am. And it's like this giant, unseen fist just punched them all in the face. You know, and they all fall backwards to the ground. All these soldiers, you know, who'd seen battle like 100 times on like 2 continents, like physically knocked to the ground when he spoke the name of God. Like his own name. And I'll never forget the look of shock and fear in their eyes. They get back up, and Jesus just offers himself to them. And after all that, he requests that the soldiers let the rest of us go. And they grab Jesus and start taking him away, and we start to pursue. You know, I guess we're kidding ourselves that we could, like, rescue him or something. And then all of a sudden, a dozen soldiers turn and come after us. That's when we all kind of freak out, realize we're in over our heads. The soldiers bearing down on us with these weapons drawn, and we all just scattered and ran. You know, I ran. I'll admit it, I ran for my life. I ran in fear, and I didn't know what else to do.
So where did they take him?
They took him to the high priest and the rest of the Jewish religious leaders. You know, it wasn't a big secret that they wanted to kill him. You know, they're finally going to do it. That's it. It was over. You know, everything that we had worked for and everything we'd dreamed of, it was gone in an instant. You know, in one night, it just all changed. And I felt really lost. Because everything was over. That's it. Gone.